Anyway, fast forward to October, and I should explain the plan. So it was always the plan that she worked a seasonal job, that she would work her seasonal job up till the middle of October, and then just be unemployed for a month, and that she would just hang out and enjoy Montana for a month until she went home to Florida. Well, she ended up losing her seasonal job a few weeks earlier than that, so there was a period in time where she was unemployed for longer than she was expecting to be, and it kind of weighed on her. She got really anxious a lot, to the point where I wasn't always available to help her through that, even though I wanted to. But I have commitments of my own, you know? And it eventually got to a point where I texted her one day to see what she was doing, if she wanted to hang out, and she replied back, I'm going to Florida on Tuesday. And this was on a Friday. So she gave me 4 days notice that she was leaving me a month early. And my initial reaction, I realize it now, was completely immature. I pretty much got angry, because in my head, at some point, she must have stacked up the pros and cons of leaving and staying for that month. And somewhere along the line, I lost. She decided that there was something in Florida more important than staying that month with me. Kind of immature, a little irrational, but that's how I saw it at the time. And I was really angry. Angry, sad combo.
You lied to me!
And I wanted nothing to do with her for those 4 days. Like, that's what I told her. She was having a going away party. I told her, like, fuck that going away party. I'm not going to sit in a room with all your friends and pretend to be happy when I'm angry and sad that you're doing this to me. Because I felt like she was abandoning me. Even though a month later the same shit was going to happen. And, like, it was during this time that I realized, like, that I actually really care about this girl. Like, that month was like a precious time that I didn't want to lose. And even though I originally overreacted and told her I didn't want to see her in that 4 days, I eventually came around. Like, and so by Sunday, I asked her out to go get some drinks and, like, do a proper goodbye and, you know, a little bit of closure and whatever. And so we did that. And then I realized, like, I came to find out that she canceled her going away party because she didn't want to do it. Like, she didn't want to partake in that kind of, I don't know, celebration of leaving when she wasn't really happy to be leaving all of her friends. She just was doing something that she needed to do. And that's the beauty, that, like, further proves my point that we were good for each other. Like, through different means, we proved the exact same point about going away parties, that they're like a celebration of fucking idiocracy. But anyway, so I took her out on Sunday, and that was her going away party. It's just me and her, and I did the proper goodbyes, and I was really, really sad, and I kind of, I don't know, I didn't want to do anything stupid that would eventually, like, come back to really hurt me, like, because I was feeling really vulnerable. Like, I was mad, I was sad, I was feeling abandoned. I'm saying goodbye to a girl that I'm just now realizing that I probably love, and even if I say that, it's not going to change anything. She's still going to move the entire country away. And so that was the situation I was in, and it eventually ended with, like, me just hugging her, and I'll admit it, crying, and then leaving her apartment. And, like, as I was leaving her apartment, like, walking down the hallway, she, like, let out, like, the saddest, like, whimper that was like, goodbye, Johnny. And, like, I still think about that, and it makes me really, really sad. But anyway, fast forward today, like, it's the week of Valentine's Day. I just broke up with my girlfriend last week. For the main reason was because she wasn't as good as Katie, so I couldn't put up with it anymore. So honestly, I was just feeling really lonely today, so I felt inclined to text Katie, and just, I haven't talked to her in a while, so I sent her a text, like, hey Katie, like, hope everything's going well for you in Florida. And she replied back like, oh, I'm sorry, who is this? And I was like, oh fuck, like, wow, this she deleted my number. And so I sent her back like, oh ouch, she deleted my number. Just a guy with a fucked up throat chakra, because I knew she would understand that. And then she went on to explain like, oh sorry, I was really mad at you, and actually I still am mad at you. The way you handled me leaving made me think that you didn't care about me at all, and you should never do that to another person in your entire life. And this kind of caught me by surprise, because I thought that I'd cleared that up. Like, I know I handled it badly originally, telling her that I didn't want to see her, but then I thought I'd corrected it by taking her out on that Sunday to say a proper goodbye, but apparently the damage had already been done. So I kind of fucked that up, and you know, I kind of just spilled my guts today. I just went on to tell her that, like, you know, I'm sorry that I, you know, was a dick and I fucked that up, because, like, in all honesty, I cared about you more than really anyone I ever have previously. And the only reason I didn't want to tell you that at the time is because I knew that no matter what I told you, you were still going to leave. So in my mind, I thought that if I didn't tell you that, it would fuck me up less when you finally left. But now I'm realizing a few months later that I only delayed that, because rather than letting her know in that moment, I bottled those emotions up for a couple months, and then that bottle just like shattered today, because I was feeling super emotional and just like really missing her, and like not knowing what to do with myself because she's a country away, and all I want is to see her and be with her. But that's never gonna happen again. Like, I'll probably never see her again in my life.
Goodbye, my love.
And as cool as she is, she kind of talked me down and like just said like, oh yeah, I know, I'm sorry, like I miss you too, like, but I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. And like, just like that, it's a shitty deal. So I guess the moral of the story is that, like, I probably did love her, but I realized it way too late. And even if I had realized it in time, it wouldn't have changed anything. She still would have left. We'd still be a country apart. So all around a shitty deal, really. So now I'm just stuck in this situation where I'm trying to find another Katie. Like, in my mind, she was like the perfect girl for me. She fit me perfectly, and she's gone. So now I have to find someone else, and it's not going great. All these girls I meet just can't keep up. Like, Katie set a new standard, and these chicks just can't meet that new requirement that I have for girls I'm going to date. And so I guess, to sum things up, whoever started that phrase, it's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all, is a fucking asshole. Because in my current situation, I would much rather go back to being the ignorant person who didn't believe in love and just like shit all over that whole idea and was just going through relationships without returning any feelings, than to be who I am now, like to live with these thoughts of regret and longing for someone that I will never see again. It's a pretty shitty deal. But anyway, that's love, I guess. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Later, dudes.
Trust me. Everything's gonna be fine.
Hostiles have destroyed your UAV. Lightning strike awaiting coordinates.
تقدموا باتجاه موقعك.
Friendly lightning strike inbound. We're winning this round.
قتيل واحد.